Good evening all of you. In the previous lecture we have seen one question on tabular column method. So in this class we will try to learn some more questions, right, on the gate trends. So this is the video lecturer part 6 on the gate trends. Okay, so we'll see the next question. Figure shows the epicyclic gate train. Wheel E is fixed and wheel C and D are integrally cast and mounted on the same pin. If arm A makes 1 revolution per second clockwise, determine the speed and direction of rotation of the wheels B and F. See very carefully. It is a epicyclic gate train kind of question where wheel E is fixed. So this is wheel E, it is fixed, okay, and all the gears are mounted on a single pin and the arm is connected along them, right? And if arm A makes 1 revolution clockwise, then what is the speed and direction of rotation of wheels B and F we needed to find out. So as we already know that 1 revolution per second clockwise, the direction of rotation, if it is clockwise, we have to take it as a negative sign, that we have discussed in the previous class. So whenever the question is given, make sure that you have determined which are the driver gears and which are the driven gears. So this is not given in any of the textbooks, okay. So make sure that you have to collect this data first, very important one. If you collect this data, then understanding the tabular column is so simple, okay. Nothing to worry, nothing is difficult. Only thing is that write down the driver gears as well as the driven gears. That is a very important thing to be noted down, right? Then okay, before going to this concept, so first we'll see tabular column. In the tabular column, as we have discussed, in the very first row we have to fix the arm and give 1 revolution to the driver gear. Always give 1 revolution to driver gear, I said, right? So here let us say this is a driver gear, first gear. So let us give the 1 revolution to gear B. So now what are all the gears are present here? There is a arm A, then gear B, then compound gear C and D, then it is interconnected with gear E, then gear E is connected with gear F. So these many gears are there. All those gears have to be present in the tabular column, okay. That is the main aim, right? So when we fix the arm, arm is not rotating now or any movement is not there, hence it is 0. Then we are giving plus 1 revolution to gear B. It means gear B has a 1 revolution. Then how compound gear rotates, that is very important. So here I have explained very easily. Again, this is not given in any of the textbooks, okay. It will come by practice, right? So first I have explained the first row, how to denote all these values in a first row, that I have explained here, okay. So first compound gear C and D. How compound gear C and D rotates when you give plus 1 revolution to the gear B, okay. Listen very carefully. When I give plus 1 revolution to gear B, then how this compound gear rotates? See, in the very first class we have discussed about train value. Train value is the reciprocal of velocity ratio, okay. So train value formula is it is the speed of the driven gear to the speed of the driver gear, okay. Speed of the driven gear to the speed of the driver gear, okay. One more thing, before going to this, as I said, you have to mention the driver gears as well as driven gears, okay. So now listen carefully. If I am giving plus 1 revolution to gear B, okay, let us understand thoroughly from the basics. This is the basic question and I have explained each and every concept in this question, okay. Each and every thing which I wanted to explain, that I have written in this question and solution, okay. The same explanation you won't get in the next questions, okay. So that's why be thorough, be understand the question basically, fine, okay. So now, which are the driver gears and which are the driven gears? How to find out this? Let us see. So now, I have taken gear B as a driver gear. Okay, this is my assumption, because if I give the one rotation or some rotation to this driver gear, all other gears will have a rotation. Clear? That's why I have taken this as a driver gear. Now, if this rotates, which gear will rotate? It means this gear is in contact with this gear number D, or gear D you can say. Okay, gear B is connected with gear D. So gear D becomes driven. Driven is nothing but a follower. This will drive and this will follow the gear B, isn't it? This is a follower and this is a driver. Okay, clear? Then if this rotates, this also rotates, as these two are the compound gears. Okay, compound gears. So if this rotates, this also rotates in the same direction. Now this becomes driver. Listen carefully. Okay, here in the first case, gear B was the driver, gear C is the gear D is the driven. Now gear C becomes driver, because this will drive and this will follow. This gear will follow, isn't it? That's why gear C is a driver, gear E will follow. Gear E will follow this gear. If this rotates, this also rotates. That's why. Next, I can take this as a driver now, because if this rotates, this also rotates. Means this is following this gear, that is gear F is following the gear E. That's why E becomes a driver and F becomes a driven. One more thing. In between the first row, you can take C as a driver and D as a driven, because it will get cancelled in the later steps. That's why I have not considered. Okay, you can even take in the second row, take C as a driver and D as a driven. That is also possible. Fine. Okay. Yes. Okay. Now compound gear C and D. Train value is nothing but it is the ratio of what I said, speed of the follower to the speed of the driver, and this is what, number of teeth. It is the ratio of number of teeth on the driver to the number of teeth on the driven gears, and minus sign indicates these two gears will rotate in the opposite direction, because they are directly in contact with each other. See, gear B and gear D have a direct contact, means they are meshed externally. That's why if I give +1 revolution, means plus means anti-clockwise rotation. Anti-clockwise rotation of the gear B makes clockwise rotation of the gear D. Gear D. Okay. Now anyway, in the first step we are giving +1 revolution to gear B. So now NB is equal to 1. If NB is equal to 1, what will happen ND? It is minus ZB by ZD. The same value we have written here. It means that ND will rotate this much quantity minus sign. Clear? So that's why I have written here. Okay, now in the same way, how gear E will rotate? See, again same question. If gear B rotates +1 revolution in the anti-clockwise direction, why anti-clockwise? Because plus sign is there. That's why. Okay. If ZB rotates anti-clockwise, ZD will rotate. Then ZD rotates means ZC also rotates. If ZC rotates, ZE rotates. Then how it rotates is, here I have explained. Train value is nothing but whenever the driver gear and the driven gear has a number of gears in between, then you have to multiply like this. Number of teeth on the driver gears divided by number of teeth on the driven gears. So this formula we have derived when I was explaining the compound gears. Okay, compound gears derivation, we have this formula. Okay, just go through the previous videos. Okay, first understand the videos carefully, starting from gear part number 1 then you come to this question. Okay, don't directly see this video. Okay, starting from the first you can study. Okay, now number of teeth on the driver gears divided by number of teeth on the driven gears. See, up to E we can write driver gears means BC. Up to E I am telling. Okay, up to E, because we are studying about gear E now. B into C divided by D into E. That's why we have written ZB into ZC divided by ZD into ZE. Fine. Similarly, for gear F, what you can write is ZB into ZC into ZE, ZD into ZE into ZF. See, this we have written. And now, if this rotates anti-clockwise, this is clockwise. If this is clockwise, ZC also clockwise, and ZE rotates anti-clockwise. Okay, so now B and E has a same kind of rotation. That's why it is plus sign. Okay, if this rotates anti-clockwise, this will rotate clockwise. Now compare the relation with B and last F. If this anti-clockwise, it will rotate clockwise. Hence they are rotating in the opposite direction. Hence it is minus sign. That is what you need to understand. If you understand the first row, you can easily proceed with the up to result. Fine. Okay, now let us move to the second row. Multiply by x. Whatever the first row you have written, for that you just multiply x. 0 into x, 0, 1 into x, x, then x, x, x. Multiply this. Here ZE get cancels. Right? Then add y. 0 plus y, y. X plus y, x plus y. And add y to these many rows also. Okay, now we have got compound gear C and D speed. Speed of the gear B as this, speed of the gear E as this, and speed of the gear F as this. Okay, now let us see the question. Determine the speed of the wheels B and F. B and F, this and this. Okay, so before going to that, we know that arm A makes 1 revolution per second negative, right? So what is the arm speed? It is y. Y is equal to minus 1. Is it clear? NA. NA means this A. NA. And its speed is y. So y is equal to minus 1. And we also know that wheel E is fixed. Wheel E is fixed means the speed of the rotation is equal to 0. This much quantity is equal to 0. That's why y plus this quantity is equal to 0. Then y is equal to minus. If you take this term that side, it is minus. Then minus 1 equal to, write down all the values of teeth values. Okay, here all the teeth values are mentioned. Put all these values, you will get x is equal to 0.428. Now we need to find speed of the wheel B, right? What is the speed of the wheel B? It is x plus y. Gear B speed is x plus y. So x plus y. X is already we know and y is also known. Just 0.428 minus 1 is nothing but minus. So minus is nothing but it is rotating in the clockwise direction. Okay. Then speed of the gear F. What is the speed of the gear F? It is the speed of gear F. And this value is this. Y minus this quantity. Okay. And we know all the values here. Y is minus 1 and the teeth values of all the B, C, D and F gears and into X. Again you get the value. It is minus 1.67 revolutions per second. Again minus sign indicates it is rotating in the clockwise direction. So in this way we have determined the speed and as well as its direction of rotation of the wheel B and wheel F. So this is a very easiest question and basic question. So based on this question we will study some more questions today only. Some important questions we need to study in the next video. Okay.